Hello everyone. Today I'm going to be working on this jigsaw puzzle and testing out this setup for crafts and stuff like that later. I actually have plans to do one of those row life miniature houses or miniature sets, I guess. I'll show you. So this was the sleeve that was on the box, but this is a miniature like building kit thing, and so you do it with like legitimate building tools and everything. And I got the baking kitchen, which is super cute, I think. Sorry, it's kind of bouncy, a little bit bouncy. Aren't we all in life? But it's super cute and I'm really excited to build it, and I was going to do that today. However, my partner got me a craft mat that has like grid on it, so like you can use it for sewing or crafting, building, whatever you're doing. And also I need to use an X-Acto knife, I think, for some parts of this, and so I just didn't want to do that on anything other than like a designated mat to protect the table, because this is a very nice table. So that should be here today. However, it's going to be here later in the day, so I decided to start on this puzzle instead for you guys and sort of test out the setup for this, which is what I've been thinking about for the past few days, and only this. So I am super excited to get started on that, but for today, it's really rainy and I want to start on this puzzle. So this was gifted is a loose term. My partner's brother had this puzzle that he had not done yet, and so it's completely sealed. And I've been thrifting puzzles recently. I like to get puzzles from the thrift store and then write on the box, like if any pieces are missing, I'll write on the box, like I'll circle the area that it's around and be like, okay, there's one missing here, which I feel like is really nice. I feel like if I was looking for a jigsaw puzzle, I would like to know if there are any pieces missing, and if so, where, just so I can be aware while I'm doing it. But we're gonna open this up and get this one started today. So I'm not actually sure. I don't want to just rip the box because it seems like, I don't know, this is a little strange. I think I should just full send and go for it. But anyway, how is everyone doing? I kind of just wanted to do a little cozy. Oh my god, that's probably really loud. I'll clip it out. Ah, I see. I'm trying not to ruin the box because, like I said, I will be needing to give this back. And I don't want it to be completely ruined. Okay, here we go. That's the carnage. It's okay. So. How's everybody doing? Today's like super rainy and cozy, and so I kind of wanted to make some tea before I started doing this, but I just had breakfast, and so I kind of just want to let that do its thing in my stomach, and then I'll probably make some tea later after I get the edge pieces done for this. So the pieces here, so I do a lot of jigsaw puzzles, if I didn't make that clear before. I love puzzles. I always have since I was a kid. I remember doing them with my dad, and he would teach me little tips and tricks and ways to organize the pieces and everything, and so ever since then I've just kind of like honed my puzzle brain, is what I like to call it. Now, here's the deal. This may not be a big deal to most people. However, I do not like boxes that are like this for puzzles, the box in the bag. Mainly because using a box, here I'll show you the last puzzle I did because I think it was really pretty. One second. Hello. Please come here. So I actually, just before setting all this stuff up, disassembled this one, which was really fun to do. But my point in pulling this out was to say that I prefer puzzle boxes that are like the classic box, like the 2 different sizes, because these are really useful in the beginning for sorting, and also I like to hold the box of pieces and be able to just hold it and do the puzzle that way. That's usually how I like to do it. And so I'm not a huge fan of boxes like this with the bagged pieces, mainly just because of that. So that's kind of a workflow thing, but we're gonna work around that this time. But yeah, I do a lot of puzzles usually, and it's a good way for me to not think about maybe some like hardship that I'm going through or any uncertainty that I've been dealing with, which I have been dealing with quite a bit of uncertainty recently. I'm just gonna do this and make sure that nothing is left in the bag. But I've been dealing with quite a bit of uncertainty lately as I am trying to get my study permit for, here, let me set this up over here because I'm gonna need to look at it too. I'm trying to get my study permit in Canada. I'm a US citizen and I'm currently living in Canada with my partner. And it has been one of the most uncertain times in my life, which is very scary. So I've been doing my best to just keep my mind busy and occupied, and puzzles seem to do that really well for me, so I've really been sticking to that recently. I've done 2 puzzles before this one while I've been here. I've been here for just a few months, and currently I am waiting for an answer back on one of the processes to do with my study permit. So I've applied, and yeah, it's scary because it would be really nice to be able to actually go to the school that I was accepted to. I was accepted for a master's program to continue the education that I have in communications. And I'm really excited about the opportunity. However, there is a very small chance that I won't be accepted for the study permit. Canada this year is apparently lowering the number of permits they're giving out, the number of new permits they're giving, so that they can lessen the amount of international students here, because apparently there was a surplus over the last few years, and so they're trying to lower that amount, which is not the best news to hear when pretty much everything is banking on that. However, I'm remaining hopeful that I'll get it anyways, because I sort of applied earlier than most people, I think. Like, I got my acceptance to the school very early on, and so I was able to apply pretty early, I think. I applied for 4 different programs at 2 different schools, and one of the program decisions I have not even received yet at one of the schools. So that tells me that I'm pretty early on still, and so that feels nice. It gives me a little bit of hope. But yeah, it's just very uncertain. The process is really long and complex and confusing. And most days I feel like I'm carrying all of that uncertainty in my body, and so I've been going on walks and stuff recently and just keeping my mind busy, and puzzles are the best way for me to do that, it feels like. So this little DIY kit, this little miniature house, I'm really excited about, because it's you know, it's 3D, it's realistic, it's in the world, and it's something that I can use as a decoration later on too, which I'm really excited about. But yeah, I hope that everybody has been doing well. I hope you've been doing okay. If you're dealing with a little bit of uncertainty in your life as well, as we all are, it's how life is, you know. I hope that this video can be a little bit of a comfort to you while you work on things or fall asleep or just don't want to feel alone. That is what I'm here for. So I'm just gonna work on finding all the edge pieces first. That's usually my go-to strategy, is finding all these edge pieces. Now here's the deal, guys. There is a huge construction project. Oh, I found a corner piece. I don't want to bend any of these edges, so I'm gonna be really careful here because it's kind of lodged in there. Found the corner. Oh, this Osmo Pocket is so good. My partner was really kind enough to let me use his Osmo Pocket for these videos. I got it for him as a gift for his birthday last year before we went to Greece, and even though I bought it, it's still his. It was a gift, and so I didn't want to assume that I could use it. But of course, he is the way that he is, so he was like, of course you can use it. Very grateful for that. What was I saying? There's a construction project going on, like literally 10 feet out the window that way. So if you hear any beeps and construction going on, hopefully it's not too distracting. Hopefully not. And here's one of those, here's another corner piece. Can you see that? Boom. I'll put the corner pieces here. But yeah, I absolutely love puzzles. I think they're a great way to slow down, like kind of help your brain slow down. Especially on rainy, cozy days like it is today. It's been raining since we woke up. And I kind of hope it just stays like this all day. Today, as I said, I'm feeling really anxious, or I'm feeling pretty anxious, more so than most days. It's like a wave for me. Sometimes I'm feeling pretty good and confident and calm and okay, and then the next day I feel so uprooted and uncertain and anxious. Yesterday was that for me, and so today it's just kind of trying to come down from that and relax and get myself back into reality. Even though I have a super supportive partner through all of this, he is, essentially, I wouldn't call it sponsor, but he's essentially putting his like savings account and everything on the chopping block so that I am able to live here with him. So if you don't know, part of the immigration process for Canada is proving that you have the financial capacity to do whatever it is that you're trying to do. So part of my study permit application involves proving that I have the funds to pay for the cost of living, as well as my tuition, and a bunch of other fees and settlement fees and all of that kind of stuff. And I wouldn't be able to prove that I have enough money, because I don't. But my partner does, and I am eternally grateful for that. And so I'm hoping that that is the thing that gets us across the finish line and gets that permit in my hands. I've been working really hard, and I've been wanting to move away from America since I was very young. And I'm doing it. This is it's the biggest risk I've ever taken in my life, and so it's taking some time to process and get used to the feeling of not knowing what the hell anything is going to look like, you know? So, until then, until we figure out what's going on with my life, I will be doing YouTube. And I'll probably be doing it after that as well. But YouTube and getting back into making videos for YouTube has really helped me feel like I have something to focus on, especially being creative and editing videos and that kind of thing. Getting back into ASMR, it helps me, and it also hopefully helps you. That's the goal. So I'll try not to yap too much, but I also just want to share what's going on in my life. To remind you that you're not alone, and if you're dealing with any form of uncertainty or change in life, which our brains notoriously are not fans of, if you're dealing with any of that kind of thing right now, this is exactly for you, and I'm really glad that you're here. It can feel really difficult to slow down sometimes, especially like when it feels like you have to just keep doing things constantly or thinking about things constantly. It's almost like we don't give ourselves permission to slow down, or we feel that slowing down is lazy or unproductive. I haven't really been doing a whole bunch, or I haven't done as much, is what I'll say, because it's not like I've done nothing. But I am a contract worker for the company that I used to work full-time for years. I worked full-time for this company, and because of my move and me being in Canada, they're a US-based company, it was easier to move me to a contract position so that I have more flexibility in my hours. So it's been a bit of an adjustment, I'll say, because I've moved from having daily tasks to do, to having long-term things to deliver over the course of like months. And I'm finding that my brain is actually struggling with feeling productive most days, because I feel like I need to be doing something every single day for 8 hours a day like I used to. And that's just not the case. I even talked with my boss about it, and she was like, this is totally normal to feel like it's a big change. And she basically reassured me that I'm not dropping the ball, which is usually what I'm stressed about. I don't want people thinking that I'm slacking or not doing my job, and it's really just a time of rest for me right now, I think. So I've been trying to, embrace that and just do more things like this while I have the time, because if I do get accepted, or I do get the study permit, school is going to be, we're going to hit the ground running with classes and stuff. So I'm trying to absorb the free time while I have it and spend as much time with my partner as possible. It is really possible well, it's not really possible, but it is a possibility. Although the chances are pretty slim, it's possible that I will not get the study permit, because if you didn't know, even though you get accepted to a university or school or whatever, in another country, that doesn't automatically mean that you are able to just go and do it. You have to use that letter of acceptance to apply for a bunch of different stuff over the course of many, 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 many months. And there's a lot of waiting and processing times and check boxes that need to be checked and T's that need to be crossed and I's that need to be dotted. And it is really difficult sometimes to know if I'm doing things correctly. I have a lawyer and everything, but even with that, it's, things change from year to year with policies and that kind of thing. And so it's hard to keep up with those kinds of changes, or to understand what those changes are. And for me, I feel like I do not like surprises. I don't like being blindsided by things. And so my mind tends to ruminate on something, even though that thing doesn't have a solution necessarily. My mind tends to ruminate on it because it thinks that if it thinks about it for long enough, then we can figure out a plan for everything and anything that could possibly happen. And that's just a lot of pressure to put on yourself, you know what I mean? Like, it's a lot of pressure to force yourself essentially to have a way out of every single thing all the time, or like have it pre-planned, you know what I mean? Because number one, life never looks the way that we think it's going to. Like, you can plan however much you want to, but at the end of the day, the universe is going to do what it's going to do. And all life is responding to what happens. You can prep a little bit, you know what I mean? Like, what's a general plan? If this, then what, But for the most part, you just gotta go with it. You just gotta ride the wave. And that is what I'm working on recently, internally and emotionally. Trying to get comfortable just riding the wave. And that doesn't mean you don't prepare, or you don't have goals, right? Or you don't work for something. Because at some point you do have to be in the driver's seat. You do have to make decisions and be proactive in your own life. But to expect yourself to have everything constantly where it needs to be, to avoid some sort of discomfort or something, like, that's a lot of pressure, and you're a human being. You can't do that. It's impossible to know everything that's going to happen. We're not psychic. And most of the time you can rest assured that you've gotten through everything in your life so far. I think those things were pretty difficult. You still got through it. And you learned what you learned. And you'll know that forever. So we'll see. We'll see how things go. Oh, corner piece. Corner piece. So this puzzle, I'm noticing, let me talk. I know this is supposed to be about the puzzle. I'm just sitting here talking about life, which, I mean, what else do you do while you do a jigsaw puzzle, right? If I'm not talking out loud about it, I'm thinking about it in my head. But yeah, this puzzle has quite a bit of earth tone, like it's earth tony, right? So there's a bunch of tan colors I'm seeing there that I'm guessing are gonna be a little confusing, but it depends because even the slightest difference in shade or undertone can give you a clue as to where in the puzzle it's gonna go. A general vicinity, you know? Something that I've learned over the years doing puzzles as well is that if you can, it's really good to do it on a plain white surface, because you're able to really see the true color of these pieces a lot better than if it was on something like a wooden table or, you know, whatever, a black table even. Sometimes you can lose the colors in the black shade of the wood or the material beneath it, and that can confuse the eye, like a color theory thing. So plain true white is usually the best way to go. They have like puzzle mats that you can buy that are plain white, and if you don't have a plain white puzzle mat specifically, you can honestly just use poster board from the store, like the big poster boards. I used to do that because usually they're big enough for at least 1,000-piece puzzle, you know. I mean, they're like they're large enough most of the time. So that's an easy and cheaper way to do it, and a way that you don't have to purchase things from the online he who shall not be named that we're all, I think most of us are trying to, at least if you're aware of what's going on, you know, like most of us are trying to lessen our online purchases from the main one, you know. I don't want to name any names because I don't want them coming after me. But yeah, it's an easy way to buy local. Just poster board. Go to a couple stores and see if you can find what you need, and if not, then, you know, you've done what you can, and then you make decisions from there. But to at least try, sometimes you find things that you didn't know about before just by going and seeing them with your eyes in real life. You'll have like different ideas come up in your head on ways to solve things in your life that you may not be focusing on at the time. I've just been trying to focus on doing more hands-on things and being off screens as much. I am a video gamer. I love video games. And so I do spend quite a lot of time on my PC looking at screens, but definitely not as much as I used to. And it's definitely made a difference. If you are new here, you probably, I haven't talked about it yet, but if you're new here, I've mentioned it in my Darvo Diaries video that I uploaded a couple days ago. I have autism and ADHD, and I have low support needs autism, so I didn't know that I was autistic until this past year, a couple months ago actually. And as I've been talking with my therapist about it and actually pinpointing like what's going on in my brain, it's felt really like a weight has been lifted, to be honest. Because through the years I've gone through many different diagnoses. Bipolar disorder, manic depressive, borderline personality disorder, OCD, which I still need to talk to my therapist about OCD because At one point, I met 9 out of 10 of the criteria that you need to meet to be diagnosed officially. And so I'm not focused on the numbers in that way, but I'm also not going to self-diagnose with OCD. However, I have discovered the struggle of pinpointing what's going on in your brain if you're neurodivergent in any way. A lot of the symptoms are gray and they overlap with other conditions and whatnot. So that's kind of just been on the back burner, but I have gotten confirmation on other things with my neurodivergence, and so it's been a really good way for me to effectively accommodate myself in ways that I need and not feel weird about it, you know, knowing that it's just the way that my brain is and there's nothing wrong with it. It's just offered a sense of clarity that I didn't have before. So yeah, I can't remember why I started talking about that. I think I was probably going to mention something about doing more things with my hands and like in real life and staying off screens as much. Because I have ADHD too, right? So I do have a hyperfixation sometimes with video games, and I'll just stay on the PC like all day long, which is not good. It is not good. It doesn't mean video games are bad. It just means that you need to, I needed to fine tune how long I was on at a time and make sure that I'm at least, if I am playing a lot of games, I'm doing an equal amount of tactile, there we go. Tactile crafts and creative things. And honestly, I think getting back into YouTube is a big part of that. I streamed on Twitch for a few years, and I still do stream occasionally from time to time. But when I started streaming on Twitch, I stopped making YouTube content. I used to make ASMR. And when I started streaming on Twitch, I stopped making YouTube. I stopped doing YouTube. And so I kind of got caught up in the grind culture of Twitch, you know? Getting the affiliate, being able to monetize, and trying to grind and grind and grind. Just streaming for hours. And I enjoyed it for a long time. I met a lot of my closest friends that are still my friends today, so I'm grateful for the experience, but it started to feel like it wasn't in line with what I was supposed to be doing with my life anymore, at least primarily. Like I said, I'll stream from time to time still, but it's purely just for fun, as I also had to demonetize myself on Twitch because while I'm in Canada, streaming while monetized online is considered work, and you need a work permit for that. And so in order to circumvent any issues with that, you know, making sure that I'm doing everything legally and correct and double checking everything with my lawyer. And I was really sad about having to unaffiliate myself on Twitch for a really long time. And then I started streaming unaffiliated on Twitch. And at first it felt weird because you don't have, it's kind of like a FOMO that you feel of not having what you used to have. Like, people can't subscribe to you anymore. People don't have any emotes, and there's no channel redeems, and your channel looks very bland and whatever. And so it kind of at first felt like I was alone, you know? But the more that I streamed unaffiliated, the more that I realized what I had lost in the grind mindset of Twitch, which was connection with other people. Which is funny because the whole reason why I started streaming in the first place was because I wanted to connect with other people and help people not feel alone, and all of the things that, I said in the beginning of this video. And that was my intention going into it. And then you learn like all of the different ways that you could potentially make money, right? And it wasn't my intention to stray away from the original plot. But it happens, right? Like it's like the dopamine shots of being successful on Twitch or just anywhere, just being successful and getting momentum, and your viewers go up every time, and trying to grind for that. It was addicting for a really long time. It was addicting. Hitting the milestones and whatnot. But I realized that I had lost, what I love, which was creating things for people to enjoy. And as I was growing up, I fell in love with YouTube because it was a way to create things for other people to enjoy, and theoretically those things are going to be there forever, right? As long as YouTube is a thing. You make something and it's there, like an archive. You can look back on it and reflect on your life and everything like that, and other people can come back to the same video if they enjoy it, and you know what I mean? Like it's more I thought I had missed a piece there. It's just more long lasting. And so I decided to embark back into YouTube. Essentially is why I'm not streaming on Twitch as much anymore. It took a long time to be comfortable with the idea of that, because I had worked my ass off on my Twitch and it's not like I had hundreds of viewers, right? Like I want to be clear that my average viewership was probably like 15 to 20 people a stream, which I was okay with, obviously. Like I did it for years. But when that viewership stops moving, or that momentum basically stops, and I also fell out of love with streaming the game that I streamed most of the time for most of my streaming career, which was Dead by Daylight, which I still play it offline, but I no longer stream Dead by Daylight. At a point in time, it was helpful for me, and it was helpful to get traffic and meet new people, and I met, like I said, I've met so many of my friends who I'm still friends with today through that game. And I actually am involved. I'm production lead on one of the competitive groups for Dead by Daylight, but all of that is offline. Like I don't broadcast that, you know what I mean? And so I enjoy the game, but in an offline way. And I think all of these things together have made me just realize, like, okay, I need to get back into what I love to do. And I just love the process of recording and filming and editing and creating something to be enjoyed. And it just doesn't feel like I can do that on Twitch. So I enjoy games offline, and I hope that you are a fan of what I create. And if not, it's totally okay. I'm probably going to adjust depending on, because I'm trying to get my groove and trying to find, I guess, my formula, the way that I like to do things. Look at that. So I'll do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I want to do some creative, fun vlogs too, and take you around the city. There's this thrift shop that I want to go to that I really want to share with you guys. And just look at a bunch of stuff. I love thrifting. I love, like, maybe we'll go and try to find some cool clothes or something. I don't know. Like, we'll do some fun stuff, some ASMR, some of this, some of that. My Darvo Diaries videos. Did I say Darvo's Diaries? Darvo Diaries videos are, slow living to help you slow down and feel more at peace. I just want to do a little bit of everything. I just want to do what I want to do. You know what I mean? And hopefully help people. Okay. So we have all of the edge pieces. Now, what I am curious about is that I only remember finding 2 corner pieces. Oh, 3. Here we go. I only remember finding 3 corner pieces. And so we are missing 1. No, we're not. It's right here. Boom. Look at that. So I'm hoping that I have legitimately found all of these pieces. Like all of the edge pieces, I mean. It's always super satisfying once you finish the frame and know that you didn't miss any in these extra pieces. I'm gonna shift these here real quick, just so we have some extra room to work. So it's very likely that I will be making more like puzzle videos like this. However, I want to make some no talking ones too. Because sometimes I just like to have like ambient sound of someone doing something around me. So I will be doing more videos that involve not speaking. I'm going to loosely reference this. However, I kind of just want to use my brain and try to do it that way. So let me get the corner pieces. I think this one is top left. This one's definitely bottom right, as it has the little words on it. You can see, can you see that actually? You could see, so that's definitely bottom right. These go somewhere near it, most likely like this. Okay, and then we have what I believe to be bottom left and top right. Top left, top right, bottom left. I believe that's what we're going to be working with here. Okay, so let me find the other piece for the words. This is green. So the general area, like the quadrants, because these are pretty much in quadrants, you know what I mean? It's going to be pretty simple to get the main pieces that have those colors in their correct quadrant, but once we get into working in these tan and brown areas, that might be a little more confusing. But for now, I'm going to just put everything in its general vicinity, and then we'll work on getting everything in place. Although some of these are, it could be Ravenclaw, because Ravenclaw is bluish. No, this is definitely Slytherin. This is right along the line. You can see this one has green and red. So that one's probably right along that midline somewhere up top. Where can I put this? Put it flat like this. Can you see that maybe? I don't know. This is definitely Ravenclaw. Very blue, very green. Although Ravenclaw does have like a green-blue background. Can you see like behind the actual main thing? Is that like a coat of arms, sort of? I actually don't know. The house emblem, maybe. Please don't come after me. But yeah, I think that one, so those and the green of Slytherin might be a little confusing sometimes, but we'll see. We shall see. This one, wait, this one has to be, okay, so this one's on the left side here. So that green is actually what belongs to Ravenclaw's quadrant. Now I understand. Now I understand. get all the pieces that very obviously go together, and then we'll work on the big chunks. So you can see that the background of Gryffindor gets darker in that left corner, and in the right corner it's a little bit brighter, more saturated. So that's something to pay attention to as well. So like towards the actual corner, these pieces start to be a lot less saturated than one another. So like an example would be this. These belong to the same quadrant. It's just different saturation. Interesting. So that means these are going to be more so this way. And the more saturated ones are going to be more towards the middle. That actually doesn't go. So I'm finding that these pieces are really glossy, which is really common in a lot of modern puzzles. In a lot of older puzzles, you'll find that the pieces are actually sort of rounded, like not rounded pieces, but if you think about the piece as like a flat, like if you think about it this way, it's like as if the corners are like rounded down instead of being like a 90-degree angle. Like if it's sitting flat, I don't know if I'm explaining this correctly, but if you imagine the edges, like imagine this piece being thicker but the same exact shape, the edges go like this in a strict 90-degree angle towards the table. Whereas in older puzzles, I noticed that it kind of like is on the flat side of the puzzle piece and it kind of rounds down into the table. Sort of. I don't know if I'm imagining that, but I've been doing a lot of puzzles since I was a kid, and I've noticed that some of the ones that I thrift are just cut differently. I don't know if like modern machinery, it just cuts differently than the old machinery used to, but I actually prefer the way old puzzles are cut. These pieces I find fray really easily along these edges here, especially along like whenever you have like the thick cardboard underneath and then you have the printed material on top. I find that it frays a lot more easily. So it's important to stay very, very careful when you're disassembling modern puzzles because they actually don't hold together as well, I've found in my experience. Okay, so something's going on there. I'm curious if any of you are Harry Potter fans. I wouldn't consider myself to be a diehard Harry Potter fan, however, I do enjoy the movies. I know that a lot of people really enjoy the books, and I'm interested in the audiobooks, so I might listen to those soon. But I'm curious what house you guys are. Every like quiz that I've taken online has always led me to Ravenclaw, and I also played Hogwarts Legacy, the video game that was honestly really, really fun. I played that and it also put me in Ravenclaw. So I guess I am a Ravenclaw. What are you? My partner is Gryffindor. And I kind of joked around with him about it for a while because in the movies, I know Gryffindor gets a lot of attention, right? Because the main character is part of the Gryffindor house. And so it makes sense that Gryffindor would get more attention, and Slytherin because the main antagonist is in Slytherin. So Gryffindor and Slytherin seem to be the primary houses in the movies. And I never really enjoyed how the other houses were sort of adjacent in a way, like they feel adjacent to the main story, which is fine. But once I played Hogwarts Legacy, I actually like discovered how much lore and backstory and how intricate the lore of these houses actually are. And I didn't actually know because I had only ever seen the movies. I never read books or anything for Harry Potter. So it was fun to explore the world and learn more about it. But I wouldn't consider myself to be a diehard fan of Harry Potter. I am a Lord of the Rings girl. I think Lord of the Rings is the best trilogy that has ever been made. And there is a nostalgic tie with that as well. I've been a Lord of the Rings fan since I was very young. My dad introduced it to me at a young age. So there is a nostalgic factor to it. And I know that for a lot of people who are Harry Potter fans, it's that way too for them. So I can definitely understand being a Harry Potter adult. Because I am a Lord of the Rings adult myself. It's all about that nostalgia. Okay, so so it seems like where is this piece? I'm missing a piece here to connect to the left side. Is it here? This might be it. Oh, a good way to tell, actually, I was going to mention this to you guys. I want to make like a jigsaw puzzle tips video because I feel like I just always want to help people learn how to do puzzles better. So a good way to tell, like, you know how some pieces sometimes will look like they go together, but they actually don't? A good way to tell is actually if you turn the pieces over. What you want to look for is the two edge pieces. So this top part and the bottom part here. You want to make sure that those are equal and that they line up. So you want to make sure that this one, like let's say for this piece here, you want to make sure that that edge doesn't go any farther than that one or, you know, is any shorter than that one. You want to make sure that they line up. And then you can just see it more clearly whenever there's no color distraction. So that's a good way to figure out if pieces actually do go together, is to turn it over. So these pieces, this is the brown confusion that I was talking about that we might run into, which we definitely are, is that there's a lot of similar browns in these desaturated backgrounds. And so it's kind of difficult to pinpoint exactly which brown is supposed to connect when it's disjointed like this, like way over here, right? And you're trying to like imagine what the colors are when they're so far apart from each other. So another tip I would suggest is just to keep everything as close as possible at the start. You just keep everything as close as you can to each other. Try not to spread out too much because then your brain has a harder time connecting colors and shapes and stuff like that. There we go. Well, that one looks like it goes, so let's do our test. Let's pull that off. So if you turn it over, we actually see that does not go together. It seems like it does, but you see how this edge, or that the opposite edge of this piece that I have my actual like pointer finger on, you see how it doesn't quite line up? I'm trying to get that to focus there. That's a telltale sign that actually doesn't go. And another benefit of working on a white surface is that you can see it from over the top here like this. And if you can see any white along these edges, along these gaps here inside, you also know it doesn't go. Some puzzles I do have a lot of pieces that go together almost. And then some puzzles, it's like you can't find any piece except the piece to fit it in any way. It's interesting. And I'm curious why that is. I know it's a difference in cutting, but like, is it a machinery difference? Does it have to do with the age of the machinery? Like I was mentioning earlier, how it seems to pieces are cut differently in the past compared to now. Maybe. I do not know. But I'm curious. Okay, the camera is still feeling, so I'm just checking the temperature of the camera. It's possible we'll just do this in like spurts, and I'll let the camera cool off. But I did lower the frame rate, so you might notice a little bit of a difference from the first portion before it cut. I lowered the frame rate a little bit because that helps with not putting so much pressure on the processor. And realistically, I'm just doing a puzzle. We don't need 60 frames. We're not recording any sports or anything like that. Okay, wait, so this one, did I actually find the one that goes to that and I just didn't remember? I don't know when I did that. Did I just do that? I have no idea. I have no idea. Anyway, found it. Let's see. Okay, so I am noticing that a good telltale, I don't know if you can see this on camera, but you see how there's like a darker brown? Can we see this? See how there's a darker brown there? Those are little trees. They're like little, like alpine trees. And so that is helping me orient these correctly. So I know that the points go up, obviously, because it's a tree, right? So that kind of helps know that this one is going to go up top somewhere. In fact, I think no, it doesn't go there. It might go here. Boom. So it kind of helps to get oriented as to what side it's on. See, this one is oriented a certain way. So that's going to go over here, right? Somewhere down here, because if you notice, like I mentioned earlier, there's that desaturated corner of this background here, and as you go down it gets more saturated, just like it does on this side. So that's kind of how you need to like look at puzzles. Those little clues like that will help you at least orient in general vicinity of where a piece is going to go, where it's supposed to go. So I am going to stop yapping for a bit and just lock in and get this frame completed. And just let you enjoy the sounds and the vibes. actually have no idea what that is. Oh wait, it could be the edge of that there. Okay, yeah. It's gonna go somewhere on that side. It's just gonna go somewhere down here. It's also going down here. This is Slytherin. This is actually a lot more intricate than I thought it was gonna be. Okay, this one definitely goes here, somewhere on this side. Goes up top. Yeah, okay, it's starting to come together. It's starting to come together. Gosh, I almost feel like I need a little bit of extra light. What would it look like, I wonder? Okay. Yeah, because it's so rainy and a little gloomy outside today, I'm actually not getting as much light from the door as I usually get. So I'm turning on this overhead light just so I can see these colors more clearly. Like you can kind of see, I don't know if that comes across on camera, but you can, actually you can't really tell a difference, but these two green blues, are very different from each other. One's like sagey and one is more aquamarine. Like this one is more sagey and the other one is more blue. So this sage one is Slytherin and this blue is Ravenclaw down here. But without that light on, I wasn't really able to see the difference as well. But now I feel like I can see way more clearly. Okay, so we are looking for there's also a glare sometimes from the overhead light, so it's a give and take, pro and con. So I have to kind of like lean around the glare. Right here, right now it's sitting like right here where I'm working, so I kind of have to move out of the way so I can see. Okay, this one is Hufflepuff down here. Is it? Yeah, it is. It's just not connected to this one. Okay, so we shall see if the camera does a little bit better with the new settings. We're getting to right around the same time as we were before when it overheated and turned off. So if we can make it past this point, I think that's a good sign. But I also don't want to be using the camera in a way that's damaging it over time. So I want to be really careful and cautious of that. So that's just going to take time to really fine tune the settings and whatnot for a long-term shoot like this. Because the Osmo Pocket is really used for like on the go, moving around, sports, perfect for vacations, getting B-roll and stuff like that on vacation. However, for long-term shooting, it seems to really develop a lot of heat in the unit itself. So I did things like turn the screen brightness down on the display. I turned the frames down to 30. Like I said before, we don't really need 60 frames per second just doing a puzzle. So that's turned down. We'll see how it goes. We learn as we go. We learn as we go. I think this goes here. It actually doesn't. It looked like it did though. This definitely goes down on this bottom part somewhere. Okay, this is a checker, green and black checker, which only shows up down here. So there's that. This is that aqua color. Now where is this? Okay, that's part of this over here. feel like that goes there, but it definitely doesn't. But it looks so close. Look how close this is. Let's see if I can get it to be flat. Doesn't that look like super... Hold on, you can't really see. The way that the green is on that brown, that looks super close, but it is not. I'm still trying to sit here and put it together. Like, wait, let's just make absolutely sure. Okay, there's that one. Okay. Yep. This is another checker piece. So the next checkers, there's 2 checkers. And it seems like this one's the bottom one, and then there's another one sort of up top here. You can see on the right side of that Slytherin one. Like these checkered squares in the background, there's 2 of those along that right side. And I believe that this section here is the bottom. And then you have that checkered piece. Oh, but yeah, that's right, it's quadrants, so it's still pretty up high on this edge, because we still have Hufflepuff down here. I forgot. Does this go here? It does. Okay. It's the bottom piece of that, and then we're looking for something to connect here. Does that go? Check that for me. Are we good? Yeah, that seems right. Okay. I have a feeling like it's gonna come together super fast. As soon as we hit like this one stride, everything's gonna go right into place. It's just taking time to figure out where all of these pieces live. Where do you live? Oh, okay, that's that. The snake thing that's up here. Yes, yes. Okay, where is... It's definitely going up here because it can't go here because there's a little tree. There's a little tree on that one. So I can definitely see that it's going to go up top there. That looks super close, but it's not. Okay, so that's how that goes up that way. Okay. What about... I'm looking for a small brown. I swear to God it's this, but it's not. Interesting, interesting, interesting. Okay, we'll come back to that one. We'll come back to that one. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna start trying to just match up similar colors. Because it seems like what's happening now is that I've done all of the obvious stuff, and what's left is the non-obvious stuff. I want to try to get this corner going over here. Does that go there? No. I need a shallow and short piece to match this. Something shallow and short. I swear to God that goes there, but it doesn't. Gosh, I keep trying to put that together. Okay. This definitely goes on this side. This definitely goes on this side. This definitely goes down here. It's possible that this goes here. Alright, so that's how these connect. Oh, that's right. This is a vertical puzzle. I forgot that this is a vertical puzzle, so it's not going to be horizontal like a, the typical. It's going to be very tall. I forgot about that. So I'm not accounting for that space in my head, and so I think that's been a big obstacle so far, but now that I've reminded myself of that, I think we're going to have a little bit of an easier time imagining where everything goes. This one was... I think this... What is this? Okay, it's the crown on this left side. Right there. This definitely goes down here. This goes on the side, and I think it connects here. Yeah. This goes up top. Okay. I don't think I've ever done a vertical puzzle before, actually. I think all the puzzles I've ever done have been just the classic horizontal. How does that not go there? So this one is definitely Hufflepuff. However, it goes somewhere in between here and here. Okay. Okay, these pieces over here. I keep wanting to put that piece over here because it definitely goes somewhere between these two. But that one is... Okay, so this is the midpoint here between Ravenclaw and Hufflepuff. And then this definitely goes on this side, like that. And then, what is this? Okay, what about this piece? Oh, finally. We finally found that. But we're missing this transition piece for this gradient here, because somehow we get from this tan brown to more of like a reddish sienna brown. Oh. Does that go there? No, it doesn't. This goes there. This goes here. And here. What is this? It's got a little bit of a green. It's like a little slit of green here. It's like the tiniest little bit, and I'm not sure, or maybe it goes up top somewhere. Oh wait, no. That one, I'm gonna have to come back to that. Maybe. Because it feels like it matches these browns really well. But it's just not the right one. Okay. I think this goes... Might have to do this like diagonally in a way. I don't know. I'm trying to think, like, make sure that you guys can see it too. Because it's tall. It's very, very tall. Alright, we're missing this connector piece here, which might actually be this. Oh, you can't see that. Okay, cool. Okay. Okay, we're almost there. Now... I almost want to do this puzzle sideways. Like, I almost want to, like, do it so where I'm doing it sideways. Because when I'm sitting here, I have a feeling I'm going to get really fatigued reaching this far to do it. And I don't want to stand. And I think that's why vertical puzzles have always kind of turned me off in the past, because of the fatigue of reaching so far if you're sitting down. And of course I don't want to stand up while I do a puzzle. I don't want to stand up and do a puzzle. I want to relax. But it's okay. I'll figure out a way to relax and do this one too. Alright, we gotta figure out these extra brown pieces. Is that one? And where are these at? It's too bright. These match each other really, really well. However, they're too bright for this. And this definitely goes up top here. No, that actually doesn't go there yet. Does it fit in here? Yes, okay. So we just need a connector for here. I think we finally got these corners. Yeah, we finally got this corner here. You can't see it on camera, but it's here. fact, I might just be able to shift everything over just a little bit. You might be able to see. Work like this. Okay, so this is what we've got. This is where we're at. Does this go here? No. Okay, so you can see everything now. So we're looking for the connectors here and here. And we've got these like brown sienna pieces that I actually have no idea where they go, because, well, they sort of match here, but not really well. And they also don't go together, like they don't fit together themselves. So that is interesting. And we also have this stray checkered okay, that goes here. Or it goes up here on top somewhere, because there's another checkered thing up top. Well, it seems like the overheating is doing pretty well this time around. I'm still not gonna push it when I film, but it seems, yeah, it's good. Seems to be doing pretty well. Oh, I think this is correct. Yeah. But not yet. Is it? Okay, that actually doesn't, it fits on this side but not the other. So we're missing, it's possible we'll be missing a couple of edge pieces, or missed a couple in the box, and that's okay. I haven't gotten perfect at that. Oh, so these pieces actually don't go together. You see that? You see that slightest little difference? And also, look how much light is coming through those. That is not correct, so that might have been throwing us off. In fact, this piece, I believe, is what we're missing up here somewhere. Not sure exactly where yet, but that's gonna probably open up some possibilities for us. Gosh, but it does look like it goes, though. Well, these go. I think I got some pieces confused, but these two definitely go together. And they definitely go up top here because of the little tree. See it? A little tree. So it's oriented correctly up here somewhere. This is the other side of this snake here for Slytherin. That doesn't go there. Does this go here? Uh-huh. That's the connector for that. Okay, yeah, I think we are, in fact, missing a couple of pieces. So we're missing something here. And I don't believe this goes here. Yeah, so we're missing a piece there. We're missing a piece here because these two do not fit together. I think these actually go up here. those fit? Oh, the reaching. Okay. Missing a piece there and here. Okay. So it seems like, oh, here's this. Okay. So what I'm seeing is that we may have misplaced something along this edge, because these are two different lengths, or we're missing one and we put two that don't belong together on this side. But at first glance, I'm not seeing anything. Bless you. That was my cat. Well, not my cat, but my partner's family cat, and we're taking care of him, so. But it is the cat, which is within the condo in which I am staying at the moment, and we love Oscar. Okay. This is definitely, I think a piece was missed up top here, or something. Let me stand up. I was avoiding standing up, but I think I have to, just to be able to see what the hell is going on up here. All of this looks very, very good. All of this looks like it is definitely in place. So does all of this. So I am confused. I think we definitely missed some pieces, for sure. We definitely missed some pieces. But that is okay, and we will find them. Okay. All of this looks good too. Nothing seems to be weirdly, like, forced. Okay, so my guesstimate is that we are missing 1, 2, 3. It seems, am I crazy? No, I don't think I'm crazy. Okay, I think we're missing 1, 2, 3, 4. I think we're missing 4 pieces that we missed from the main shebang. I swear this goes up here somewhere, and it feels like I missed something. Okay, y'all, so I'm just about done going through every piece again, and already I have found a couple more edge pieces that I missed the first time I went through. So I'm just finishing up going through these to make sure that I haven't missed anything else, and hopefully that will be everything we need to finish the frame, because I didn't exactly count how many pieces we need. But both of these, the pieces that we're missing are like tapered end pieces, so like they get sort of skinnier as they go down towards the edge, like the actual flat edge, and so that's why I missed them the first time. But I could have sworn I had one more sitting over here, but maybe I'm not remembering that right. But we'll see. And if I'm still missing something, then we shall find it again. It's okay. Things take time, and that is okay. Okay. why it's so satisfying when you end up putting the very last piece in place, because you know how much time went into making everything fit and making everything make sense and be organized. It seems like that's all we're gonna need, because I'm not seeing any other edge pieces here. Okay, so I'm just gonna leave these in the middle before putting them back in the box. So we found this, which is another one of those like sienna brown pieces, which I believe should go, it's not there. I'm really confused about this piece in particular, and I feel like I may have put something together up top there that actually doesn't go together. That's the only explanation I think I have. And I think, let's put everything else in place. So we found the piece that connects this to this, which is fantastic. And I think we also found the piece that connects this to this, and that's also fantastic. So now we have the complete, from top left all the way down to bottom left, over to bottom right, and back up. We have all of that completed. So the last thing we have to do is connect this top portion here, which I'm gonna stand up so I can actually see. Up here we have, I think I did miss a piece up here somewhere, and I think it's actually, where would it be? Is it here? No, is it here? I have a stray piece here that I have genuinely no idea. Oh, okay. I think it's here, guys. It's like right up here. I'll show you. Actually, you don't really need to see it. It's hard to see on camera anyways. But I think I skipped over that piece there. Boom. Okay. Which means that I think we are still missing two pieces. But at the same time, if I'm looking at this, like, if I'm looking at this like this, there's extra pieces up here somewhere. And I think it's right here. That actually doesn't fit there, and I think these just need to be switched. I need to be careful. I think these just need to be switched around. Boom. Okay. We have figured it out. I had some things backwards up there, but cool. We don't need to go through all the pieces again, which is what I was a little worried about. But cool. Okay, so we got the frame done. Awesome. So I'm going to be working on this puzzle for the next couple of days, and I'll probably end up filming a portion. I probably won't film the entirety of me doing this puzzle. However, I do like the sounds, you know, and I think that the sounds are really, really relaxing. And so the next time I record this puzzle, I probably will have done more of the puzzle just off camera, relaxing, just doing it with purely just relaxing on my own. However, I will be filming at least one more video, and in that video I won't be speaking at all. So if you are not a fan of talking or soft-spoken and you'd rather just hear the sounds themselves, don't worry, part 2 is coming, and in that one I won't be speaking at all. So in fact, I might even do as much as I can and then record finishing the puzzle, not speaking. I think that would be really satisfying to see. So I'll work on this offline, and I will see you guys next time. I appreciate you being here. I hope you've enjoyed the time to slow down and just take some time for yourself. And I will see you next time. Thank you for being here.